I would say that when I was in law school, I was sort of enamored with English law. And English law was and basically even now is much less protective of free speech and more protective of order, order in society than our law is. For example, I thought it made sense then that if somebody was on trial, the press shouldn't be allowed to publish information about the trial until it was pretty well over. Certainly information which could influence a juror, a confession, which might not be admitted into evidence, prior criminal record, for example. I was in some public speaking contests that I won, in which I was taking the position in college that we should move more towards the English system. My views have changed. They changed pretty rapidly after law school about that, as well as the breadth, as I view it, of the First Amendment for a number of reasons. One is that I got a much better sense of what journalists do, certainly what they do at their best, and the role that they can play. Lots that was published during the Watergate scandal in the mid-1970s couldn't have been published in England because there were always trials going on to do with the scandal, and a lot of what was published about the Nixon administration could not have been published and would not have been published in England under the English law that I had previously liked so much. We learned something else which affected my views, and that is that government is not always candid with the public. That we need government and we need it to work, but we need the ability to be critical and the information from which we can be critical of government too. And only under American law is that as possible as it is here. Possible because you really can't get in trouble here by criticizing government, by having documents to back you up, by gathering information. We have a Freedom of Information Act here, which is not required by the First Amendment, but which supplements the First Amendment in a very important way. I mean, really based on the notion that the government is supposed to serve the public. It's supposed to be representative of the public. And so that unless there's a really good reason to keep material secret, the presumption should be that it's public. As I've practiced law in the area and read books about American history and talked to people, I've more and more come to the view that while there are risks, and genuine ones, of living in a society in which people are so free to say so much with so little risk, that for us at least, it's a much safer system as well as a much freer system because of the openness of our society and our willingness to let people and institutions have their say. I think the state of First Amendment law is good in the country. I think the state of free speech is generally good. There are exceptions. But I think that the difficulty, the existential threat to newspapers in the country is itself threatening of free speech in a different way. I do think newspapers have played a very special role with respect to educating the public, exposing misconduct, and the like, in a way which no other institution really has matched. And I think that the economic difficulties that the press is having pose very real risks for the public itself. I mean, the public is doing it. It's not a matter where the government has done something wrong here. And the public is obviously free to choose what to buy and what not to buy, and you know, that they'd rather see things for free on the internet than to buy a newspaper. But the effect of that, I think, is deeply threatening to the country as we know it in the best way. Things change. That's both inevitable and generally a good thing. But if one of the ways things ultimately change is that we don't have a vibrant press with respect to the written word, I think the public will truly be the loser.